Welcome to the Laughing Litigator.
Hey everybody, welcome back to an all-new episode of the Laughing Litigator with attorney Ray Hsu. I'm your host, Mike Leon. You know, Ray here, he runs the law offices over of Ray Hsu and Associates PC out in California. He's the kind of lawyer who can take the California Labor Code and make it sound like stand-up. I can't wait to hear this. And so listen, today's episode, we're going to be talking about Ray's story, how he launched a law firm in the middle of the Great Recession when big law was collapsing and the world looked like one big giant anxiety attack. So Ray, good to see you as always. Let's get into your story because the first episode here, we're titling this, Should You Be More Anxious, Depressed, or Already on Your Meds? Which I think is a very funny title. It says a lot about how Americans feel today. Do you think Americans are more anxious than ever, or is this just another cycle, another wave?
Thank you for having me. So to answer your question, it's just another cycle. And before I answer any further, I want to tell you everyone, I actually graduated from the same law school with former VP Kamala Harris. And I promised I will not speak like her in any interview. All right. I saw the Fox interview. I saw the CNN interview. I promise I will speak differently. So yes, to your question, it's just another cycle. And and then before you jump to another question, I would say people can look or watch the Jimmy Kimmel interview with our Terminator governor, Arnold Schwarzenegger, recent interview. So in that interview, our Terminator governor basically said, oh yeah, relax, America will get out of the mess. You know, when I came to the US, it was the assassination of Martin Luther King afterward. And also the Watergate and the shooting and the DNC in Chicago, blah, blah, blah. There's so many things. And also the riots. You know, America always get out of the mess. So sit back, relax. And I agree. So it's just another cycle, in short.
Just another cycle. Let's hope that the cycle goes a little bit smoother. So I want to ask you, because I read in your intro that you graduated obviously from UC Hastings in 2010, right in the middle of the financial crisis. So what was that climate like for new lawyers?
One word: horrible. But let's skip my 2010 for now, and I really want to share with all of the audience in the United States or the podcast audience about my ChatGPT analysis of Asian American lawyers' stress in 2025. Let's hear it. It's only 3 minutes. Please bear with me.
Asian American attorneys are under unusually high stress today for several overlapping reasons. Some structural, legal industry-wide, and some specific to Asian American identity. Number 1, structural pressures in the legal profession. Billable hour culture. Pressure to meet quotas, 2,000 plus hours a year, leaves little time for rest or family. Litigation intensity. Adversarial practice rewards aggression, often at odds with collaborative or community-centered values. Economic uncertainty. Post-pandemic shifts, AI disruptions, and uneven demand for legal services raise anxiety about long-term stability. Number 2. Asian American specific stressors. Stereotype expectations. Asian American attorneys often feel trapped between model minority stereotypes, expected to be technically competent but not outspoken, and courtroom cultures that reward charisma and dominance. Leadership glass ceiling. Many report being passed over for partner tracks, leadership roles, or trial counsel positions because they are perceived as quiet or not assertive enough. Representation gap. While Asian Americans are one of the largest minority groups entering law school, they remain underrepresented among law firm partners, judges, and general counsels. Double scrutiny. In courtrooms, Asian American litigators sometimes face skepticism about credibility or communication style, leading to over-preparation and performance anxiety. Number 3, social and cultural pressures. Family and community expectations. Many Asian American lawyers carry intense pressure to succeed as proof of family sacrifice or immigrant achievement. Mental health stigma. Seeking therapy or psychiatric help can feel taboo, especially in first-generation immigrant families. Racial climate. Rising anti-Asian sentiment, e.g. since COVID-19, increases background stress, even outside of work. 4. Unique stress multipliers, bamboo ceiling plus glass gavel, systemic barriers to judicial appointments and firm leadership, code switching burden, constantly adjusting between courtroom aggression, client diplomacy, and cultural family humility. Isolation, fewer mentors who share cultural background or who can validate the dual identity pressures. In short, Asian American attorneys face all the same industry stresses that every lawyer does: long hours, adversarial work, financial pressure, plus the cultural, representational, and identity-specific challenges of being Asian American in a profession still dominated by other demographics.
That's it.
I think that is it. Summarizes it in a nutshell. So let me ask you though, Ray, because a lot of big firms have recently been dissolving over the last, let's say 10, 15 years. Even associates are fighting for entry level jobs now in this market. How did you decide to go solo on your own?
Before I say a lot of things, I have to make a disclaimer. English is my second language. So sometimes you might see or hear me using very racist language, but I just want to make it more expressive. So non-racist intentions intended. So to answer your question, well, it brings me back to 2008, around October to December, around the time that the big law firm Heller Ehrman was dissolved. At that time, 2000, I went to law school at UC Hastings College of the Law in San Francisco. It is the earliest UC law school in California. At that time, I was like, oh, okay, it's dissolved. So what? So I graduated from 2010. Then I find out all the second and third year level associates are fighting for entry level job with me in 2010 when I graduate. And it was horrible. That's why I started my own firm.
So Ray, let me ask you, when you look back at that time to now, what's the scariest part? Maybe there's somebody out there that's listening to this, they want to start their own firm. What was the scariest part for you of launching your own firm at 30 and with no safety net?
Well, the textbook answer will be no mentorship, no supervisor, no guidance other than trying to steal the wisdom from all of your opposing counsel. But I'm telling you, the number one scariest part is what? I asked around of my classmates, UC Hastings classmates. They're all good people. They're all with good intention. They're not trying to play games with me or trying to F with me or anything like that. But at that time, I said, would you think about getting your own law firm? And all of the answer I got is, Ray, did you purchase malpractice insurance? I'm like, it was like that.
Ray, let me ask you about some key moments that have helped shape your outlook as a lawyer. What are some of those key moments? I know you've pointed to some in the past, like Washington Mutual's collapse, maybe even something with JP Morgan. What are some moments that have shaped your outlook as a new lawyer?
You asked me from the 2025 point angle, because at that time in 2010 I was very busy to cash a high interest rate CD from Washington Mutual at that time. So, 5% CD, 6% CD, ka-ching, ka-ching. So I wasn't thinking about any of that actually, at all. Yeah.
So Ray, some of your early career work, you did some volunteer work with some legal aid groups and some public interest fellowships. How did that experience help shape your perspective on serving some of these underrepresented communities?
Oh, thank you for the question. So we jump a little bit earlier to the time before I go into law school. So before I go into law school, I was in Los Angeles County, and a lot of the cities like El Montes, Arcadia, Alhambra in California, they have a lot of underserved communities. So I went into some of the legal aid, nonprofit legal aid, to volunteer, and that kind of shaped the experience and give me the idea to go into law school. For example, the biggest legal aid clinic is always DV. And what is DV? Domestic violence. And when I first look at domestic violence clinic, and my first reaction is, oh my God, there's so many cases. Which men wouldn't beat their wife sometime in their relationship? Is that, of course, the one that doesn't come to our door.
Right.
So, then I work on some domestic violence stuff, immigration clinic for sure, and then to the workers' rights clinic. And then I immerse myself with a lot of volunteer experience with all of the legal aid.
Ray, clearly humor runs through a lot of the work that you do. Why do you think comedy is such a powerful way to talk about these deep topics like the law and politics?
I do believe comedy is the way to talk about it because a lot of time the law or the statute or cases are actually the wisdom that was crystallized from a lot of emotion, from a lot of time, a lot of things, a lot of paper documents that cannot be shown in any of the media or even digital media. That's why comedy is the only, in my opinion, although I'm nobody and I'm insignificant, and so the comedy is the only way I think to make people to understand. Understanding California law is very important if you ever want to live in California.
So, Ray, looking into this camera right here, this is the debut episode. What can listeners expect from the Laughing Litigator moving forward?
So my expectation is sit back, relax, and I promise this is not a legal podcast to lecture you. There's no lecture. We're just having a conversation. And also bear with me because English is my second language. So forgive me if I will be a bit racist in my language under California standards, but none intended. If you don't like it, please stop listening and never pay attention to me. As for being a lecturer, I did that for my Chinese Mandarin version on YouTube. So you can go watch that if you understand Chinese Mandarin. And if you don't understand Chinese Mandarin, that's your problem. Sorry.
Ray, thank you so much for the time today. We truly appreciate it. Can't wait for more episodes of The Laughing Litigator.
Thank you.
And that's it for this first episode of The Laughing Litigator with Ray Hsu. To connect with Ray, do me a favor, visit rayhsulaw.com. If today made you laugh, cringe, or just nod in recognition to a lot of the things that Ray said, then we got the job done. Subscribe, share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Stay tuned for more legal satire that makes even California's labor code entertaining. As always, I'm Mike Leon. We'll see everybody next time.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.